nothing and nothing is everything. So you may have heard that expression or something like that expression. You may have heard just one side of that expression. Like somebody might have said, everything is nothing. Or someone might have said, nothing is everything. Or someone might have said those two phrases together. You don't want to get attached to any kind of pointer. That will be a trap. Words can only get you so far. But what this is pointing to is there's two different levels, also called the two truths. And I believe that's a comes from Buddhism originally, the two truths. Um, and one is what's true on the relative level. So on the relative level, um, we have objects and things, different substances, different um, things, and different logic systems, logical systems. These are all relative. They're relative because on this level, things are true um, or false relative to something else. Also, things get their distinctions and qualities relative to other things. So, on the relative level, on this, on one of the two truths, you could say that there is a multiplicity of forms and things and names. Um, and you could basically say that 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 there's substances. You could say, what is this made out of? Oh, it's made out of this. But every substance is defined relative to everything else. So it's kind of like a sleight of hand or a magic trick. It's like, okay, you feel like you're getting mental traction, you're understanding because you can wrap your head around a certain concept or idea, but only relative to another idea. But you can then learn that idea, and that's understood relative to another idea. So it's just like it's an infinite regress. It just keeps going, and it's also circular in the sense that in our system of language and how we kind of understand the world through our language, we can only understand bits and pieces of the world relative to other bits and pieces of the world. And it just becomes a circular definitions where the whole system just refers to itself instead of actually contacting what it's trying to describe. So on that level, when we try to say what the world or the universe is made out of, there's people always seem to have some sort of an answer, or maybe it's not a definite answer, but it's a theory, a working theory. Now, on the other level, there's the other one of the two truths. We'll call this the absolute level as opposed to the relative level. On the absolute level, we're no longer playing this sleight of hand magic trick sort of game, trying to kind of grok the world by defining it against other things that we can only grok defined against other things, and so on. And on the absolute level, we're kind of seeing through that illusion of the relative. Or whether you're seeing through it or not, this is the The idea of this is that the absolute is the true, actual, more real, more true of the two truths. Um, because it's absolute, so no matter what kind of way that we're defining the world on the relative level, it doesn't affect the absolute level. The absolute level is kind of like the substratum of the relative, so to speak. Um, you could think of the relative as being one with the absolute and being superimposed onto it, but more accurately, actually just being one, and the relative world being more illusory. Now, the absolute world, or the absolute truth, there's nothing we can say about it because we can only say things about things on the relative level because we have other things to relate it to. But on the absolute level, where you're taking that all of everything, the all, we'll call it the absolute all, and you have nothing to compare that to. There's nothing outside of it. So, and you can't say it's made out of anything because there would have to be another level to it. But we're talking about all, all apparent levels. Um, and because we can't, because there's nothing other than it for it to be made out of. It's made out of, you can say it's made out of itself, but it's undefined. Definitions appear within it, but it itself is undefined. In this way, we could think of it as it's nothing, but it's not the idea of nothing that most people have, where it's just like, just absolute darkness, or however you might normally think of it. This is nothing. It's basically, it's not a thing. It's no thing, nothing. Um, and that's where the expression "nothing is everything," everything is nothing comes from. Because all of the apparent things, they get their existence from a not thing. And the not thing appears as everything. So everything is nothing, nothing is everything. That'll about do it. So yeah, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then please hit the subscribe button. If you have anything you want to say, please say it down below. If you want to get notifications when I drop new content, then hit the bell button. If you know anybody who might like this, then please share it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.